Hello, my name is De'Ara Mackey, and in my group it's Melissa and Devontae. I chose to expound on if Batson Protections should be expanded or not. And I do believe that the expansion of Batson would actually be a modernization of the way we view life and we live life today. So I do believe that Batson Protections should be expanded. And one of the areas that I believe that it should be expanded is in regards to the protective characteristics that are being measured as it relates to the voir dire process and being able to use a Batson challenge. I do believe that additional protective characteristics would measure the totality of an individual's life, how they live, their lifestyle, the things that they practice. By identifying the protective characteristics that have not already been identified in Batson, such as religion or social economic status, it would include more protection for individuals while also making sure that our judicial system is adequately abiding by the law that is in our amendment, such as our 14th Amendment, where we have equal protection under an equal protection clause under it. So after reviewing the case of Batson versus Kentucky, I believe that those other protective characteristics would definitely ensure equality for all. It would also embody and ensure trust within our judicial system. That would ensure that everyone, even our government, are being held to the standard that they should be when setting laws, but also for individuals to feel confident in being able to serve on jury duties and know that the law protects us in every way. To support my argument, I was reviewing the case of Jebb versus Alabama in 1994, where the Supreme Court founded that gender discrimination during the voir dire process was conducted, and therefore it was ruled as unconstitutional. In this case, it was a gender bias. There was a paternity case that was being reviewed in the court where jury selection was conducted. However, there was blatantly and explicitly an all women juror. So with that, that was profound evidence to know that there was bias in determining the outcome of this case. So the Supreme Court did find that unconstitutional. However, this does support my argument that because after this case, it was founded in the state of Alabama that gender would also be a part of the protective characteristics as it relates to Batson challenges that are used by either side. So with this, I do believe that there are additional protective characteristics that would serve beneficial within the expansion of Batson Protections. Also, I did want to touch base on the consensus of a group. So Devontae and Melissa also agreed that there should be an expansion of Batson. One of my colleagues, Devontae, spoke on eliminating the Batson challenges altogether, since this would eliminate all of the different things that has to be measured, such as the intent, and also taking the burden off of a judge. Yet, if it is eliminated, that would also leave this situation in regards to the voir dire process, I would say more limbo, but it also could serve as just making sure that there is not any extra confusion in the courtroom as it relates to this process. Melissa also expounded on expanding the expanding the Batson protection to also eliminate the intent that the judge has to guess in regards to if the reasoning by either opposing party is sufficient enough to actually strike a juror. So with that, it would allow for objective observation that would be able to pinpoint the protective trait that is being possibly discriminated against. So as a consensus, we do agree that, whether the Batson protections are eliminated altogether, it could create less confusion during this voir dire process, or if the intent is eliminated, that would take away the burden of a judge's discretion. But also, by expanding the protected characteristics of individuals, I believe that would be substantial in making sure that individuals can trust their judicial system, their government, while also protecting their constitutional rights. Thank you.